Red Bull endured an uncharacteristically poor weekend at the Australian Grand Prix. Speculation that Sergio Perez has already signed a contract extension with Red Bull for the 2025 season was rubbished by Christian Horner's post-race comments at the Australian Grand Prix. The team principal refused to rule out a move for Carlos Sainz after he closed out his third career victory in Melbourne. Sainz has been a shrewd operator since making the move from McLaren to Ferrari, but found himself the victim of a brutal driver market switch in February when it was confirmed that seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton would be partnering Charles Leclerc for the 2025 season and beyond. This switch left Sainz without a confirmed drive next season, but after a commanding victory down under, heads are turning in the paddock. Red Bull has been touted as one such option, but former Williams and Ferrari manager Peter Windsor suggested that he had been privy to murmurs in the paddock that there would be no room at the inn. "I heard in the paddock area from various sources that are pretty reliable that Sergio has already renewed his contract for next year," Windsor explained. "In which case, you'd say, well, what was the rush?" He later added. "And if that's the case, well, that door obviously then is closed for Carlos Sainz." However, Perez's future may not be as clear-cut as Windsor believes. The Mexican driver followed up impressive back-to-back P2 finishes with an underwhelming weekend in Australia, and after Sainz turned in a sensational performance just 2 weeks after undergoing appendectomy, Horner didn't rule out a move for the Spaniard. "Based on a performance like that, you couldn't rule any possibility out," he said. "We just want to take our time." Checo was compromised on Sunday, but has had a great start to the season. "We are not in any desperate rush." Carlos is the only driver who has beaten Red Bull since the start of the 2023 season, so he appears to be our nemesis. It isn't only Sainz who Perez needs to worry about when it comes to securing his long-term Red Bull future, as Yuki Tsunoda has enjoyed an impressive start to the 2024 campaign and scored 6 points for the team in Melbourne. Daniel Ricciardo, however, is looking less viable, and the 34-year-old has now reportedly been given 2 races to save his seat. Doubling down on his plan to keep his options open, when asked to assess the VCARB duo's chances of joining Red Bull, Horner said, "I think it is still very early in the year to be thinking about this.